What am I plugging this into? The
audio jack. So that way they can hear us. Huh? No. Oh, yeah. Push it in. Push it in all the way in. Make sure it's all the way in. Mm-hmm. All right. This is picking up audio. Let's see.
I can hear myself.
Mm-hmm.
Check.
Let's see how the sounds do.
Bruh. You never use that one.
Bruh.
What the fuck is going on?
They seem like they're all at the same level as us. Everything is
Pump
good.
up the J. Pump it up.
All right.
Uh-oh. I can't see the live feed. It's all dark.
What do you mean it's all dark?
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Oh, shit. There's one more thing
Hear the audio.
before we got started, and I can't remember what that was.
Oops.
Nope, can't remember. Trying to think, and it's not working.
That's loud.
Okay. Hurry up, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Red talk, motherfucker, get down with it, identity, shitting all over what that fake bitches, man, the kind of smoking dank, kicking ass on the side, bringing that flavor, she elevating the vibe, boom, bitty, bye, who's getting high, everybody is, bitch, watch our time flies with that real talk, with a steel car, taste it, cheers with a twist, then your chin on your face, is podcast basics, aced it, going ape shit, up the ante when they blaze, and I take it in. From the gays to the scum to the friends. Every Wednesday when the day ends, all enemies wish they had this energy. This is Ratt talk, catch an ice bag injury. Y'all moving like a motherfucking centipede. We accelerate just to devastate the industry. Horse got the boss sweet, this could be the enemy. Turn that fucking mic on, I guess we'll have to see Ratt talk.
And we're back with another episode of Ratt Talk, ladies and gentlemen. And Amanda is back with me this time.
I'm back. Woo!
Didn't leave me alone this time. I was about to do more shows by
sorry.
myself. Jeez.
I'm sorry. I wanted to go sing with emo people.
Yeah.
I know, lame. I gave myself whiplash, so that's what I get.
Yeah, that is what you get.
It's all right.
But we had just got back from Star Wars, though. We fucking finally saw it, actually. I think we were the last people ever to watch it in this entire Earth.
Sure. But now we can spoil it.
Exactly. Now we can spoil it, and everybody can fucking watch, because you already know what happens.
Yeah, but if not, this is a Star Wars episode, so excuse the spoilers, because that's pretty much all we're going to be talking about. So if you haven't seen this...
I even turned in my Ratt Talk hat to wear the Star Wars hat. I'm still committed to the sunglasses, though, so...
But yeah, now you got your Star Wars hat. I like it. It works for you. That was a gift from your cousins?
Yep,
your little cousins?
from Samantha.
Oh, okay.
Samantha and Benjamin.
Good
Thank you for
pick.
the hat.
I like it.
But, oh, man. First of all, let's go ahead and get into what everybody said about this fucking movie. Right off the bat, it was really mixed reviews, actually.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of...
I heard a lot of people hating on it, and I heard a lot of people loving it. And it made me more excited to watch it, to be honest. Like, this was probably the first time where I was like, I've never actually heard a movie be good and bad at the same time. Oh, yeah. I'm fucking nailing the Rick voice right now.
I know. It wasn't my favorite of the newer ones to come out.
No way. No, I mean...
But it was good. I didn't hate it. I can see why people didn't like it. Mm-hmm. But... I enjoyed it. I feel like I felt like a little kid. I was sitting on the edge of my seats at parts. I was cheering. I was excited.
I laughed. I cried.
I laughed. I cried.
I was laughing and crying at the same time.
I was super into it.
I mean, overall, the movie's a lot of fun. Again, if you're just tuning in right now, this is a Star Wars spoiler episode. So, real quick, though, without spoiling anything, right off the bat, it is a fucking fun movie to go watch. It's a good movie to go watch. Actually, that's probably what I really enjoyed about this movie too, is that everybody fucking kills it.
Oh, yeah.
There was not one bad actor. Like,
even Adam Driver.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Even Adam
good.
Driver did a good job. And
although, I felt it was kind of predictable where his character went because we
could get into that. We can get into that, but all the acting all around is good. Like, everybody does a great fucking job, and and I think that has to do a lot with what makes a good movie. Obviously, they obviously have to have good actors, but if you think about it, those prequels that came out with Hayden Christensen.
Oh God, yeah,
dude, yeah.
Yeah, that was reaching. Now I can kind of see, like, okay, this is the way it's supposed to be done. They knew where they fucked up, because I would say the prequels aren't horrible.
No, they're not. They're actually not. And now, like, it really pisses me off right now, especially because people talk so much shit about the prequels, but now they're like, well, fuck, they should have just ended it at Sith, man. Like,
yeah,
no, like, whatever.
No, the prequels are whatever. Yeah, they fucked up in other areas, but for what it was good. I dug it. There was action. I was laughing. I was into it. It was, but I definitely like these ones more. The new ones.
Yes, the newer ones are better than the prequels. And I mean, if we're being real, people, the first Star Wars movies, The New Hope, Return, like, those aren't really that great movies either. Like, there's so many like, we have stormtroopers walking into the fucking tops of doorways. We have Luke kicking a guy that doesn't even touch him. He's just like
falls.
Like a fucking soccer player and shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude. So I mean, don't fucking.
Yeah, the original trilogy was not perfect in any means.
Exactly, you know, and I mean.
But the story, I feel like you can't beat
that,
the story.
I feel like was what really kept everybody into it, though, was that it was a good story.
Yeah.
And this is still a good fucking story.
Yeah.
It is a good story,
and the fact that they're deriving from the original characters and extending it on with new characters, but it's still good. Which is appropriate. Honestly, I would be kind of disappointed if they were dragging out these characters that we love and that they already had their story arc and everything, and it's kind of now time to put them to rest. If they want to continue Star Wars, they need to put these characters to rest so they can bring up new characters.
Yeah,
and I think they're doing it well enough. It's not like, oh, well, bye, you're done. Like, they're getting rid of these characters in a badass, respectful way that it's like, all right, I can live with that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not
like, I can live with Han Solo being taken out by his own son in that moment. Like, I can. At first, I was really pissed off.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean,
but like, if he's gonna go out anyway, rather it be because of his own son and not because he had a bounty on his head.
He can't talk his way out of that one. He couldn't have talked his way out of that one.
Yeah, there was no way.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the fact that it still haunts him, which kind of gets into the new movie.
Yeah, man, definitely this movie does bring their fucking A game, dude. Like, it is new. It is a brand new fucking Star Wars story, people. Like, I'm sorry to disappoint all those nostalgic people. Like, Star Wars is moving on. Like, it is. What the fuck is it?
I know. I just picked this up. I don't know. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck Comcast is looking at, but I just picked up this thing called blow paste. How is blow paste good for your teeth? I don't know, but it has some dude. It's all greased up and suggestively holding the blow paste to his mouth. On the other side, it's some chick holding oranges in front of her tits.
You can hold that up. I mean,
live feed, huh? So for you live viewers, like this is what we're looking at.
That completely threw me off course.
Increases saliva production. It's officially vegan certified, water based. Comes in 3 flavors. Is it like toothpaste?
I don't know. Yes.
Blow paste seeks to ignite passion.
It's toothpaste to make your mouth watery, so you can suck dick. Yes.
Right on. All right, that was distraction. What were we talking about? All right, Star Wars.
Yeah. No. Definitely, they're definitely going in a good direction with these characters, man. It was a good movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Definitely not The Force Awakens.
Yeah, no, the Force
Yeah.
Awakens was definitely good, but
Well,
it was
it's
better.
very different. It is very fucking different from The Force Awakens for sure.
kinda
Everyone was
preferred-
expecting it to be like everyone was literally expecting this to be a replay of the trilogy, like
yeah,
the original trilogy.
because that's kind of what it was following.
I know. Let's
of.
be fucking real. That's what The Force Awakens was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. It was the same. It was the same fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, man, yeah, this one this new one that came around, it's different. It's a whole new Star Wars story. It's like, it's a whole different Star Wars now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can live with it. There were certain things that kind of threw me off about it. Can we talk in details? Are we full on spoiling it now? Can we get into that or?
I mean, I was hoping to drag it on as long as
Oh,
possible.
okay. There were certain parts of the movie where I was just like, I don't know how I feel about that. But then after talking to you, I was like, okay, I guess I can live with that. That makes sense. But it was just a little odd because we had never seen it. But it works in a way, kind of like how people were bitching about, like, the midichlorians, how they made it all scientific in episode 1, when in the original trilogy it was just the Force. You either had it or you didn't. But then in episode 1, when they said, the midichlorians, it's this and that, it's like some people are kind of iffy. It's like, nah, don't bring science into it. Just either you have the Force or you don't. So there are certain things in this movie where I was just like, that's kind of interesting. I didn't know Jedis can do that, but all right, I don't see why not. I guess it makes sense.
I know. I was like, what are you talking about?
I know, that's what I'm trying not to spoil it.
What are you trying to compare it to? That's why. But okay, now I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Okay, well, yeah. Let's just fucking say that. Like, wait,
all right,
you're talking about Luke Skywalker, right? How? How his powers different? No. What are you?
No,
what are you
I was talking about how Rey and Kylo can pretty much have full on conversations, like they're face to face, even though they're on other sides of the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but again,
but then you said, I was like,
that's always been in the story. That's always been in the story.
But it was done so clearly in a way, like, I don't know, it was off for me, like how it literally was. They were talking to each other, but in just different rooms.
I mean, that's just the way it was shot.
Yeah,
I think that's just the way it's shot. It's not. It wasn't that this is this new power or anything. I think they fucking did a good job. This was just a good movie. Like,
I mean, but when we've heard,
kind of filled in that gap, that little detail that you're just like, oh shit, like.
And I mean,
they can see each other. They just can't fucking.
You did make a good point. How if they can talk to Jedis that have passed away, then why not be able to talk to ones that are still alive? But
again, they were able to do that when Darth Vader cuts off Luke's hand and Luke's on the ship. Mm-hmm. There's the whole scene where Luke gets up, he's like, Father, and he's like, come to me, Luke, join me. They're having a fucking conversation. Did you not realize that? Like, he lays back down, but that's because he knows he's where he is. Vader can't get to him.
Then maybe I just had an issue with the way it was filmed. It was just something odd about it at first that I wasn't.
Again,
to me, wasn't jiving with me at first.
To me, that wasn't new. That wasn't new to be able to see them and like. Yeah, they did.
But how clear cut it was in the movie. Like, they were just sitting there having conversations like we are right now, except they were on opposite ends of the galaxy. And it was like, no big deal. That was just, the way it was filmed maybe just kind of threw me off for a second. But, it does make sense given the explanation that, they've always been able to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just never been filmed in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just different, but it makes sense. I could live with it. At first I was like, but I don't really have that big of an issue with it.
Seems like you do.
No.
Why are they talking to each other? They shouldn't be able to talk to each other. They're on opposite ends of the galaxy.
It just threw me off in the beginning, but then when I mentioned it to you and you kind of...
No, yeah, I mean, again, it happens throughout the entire movie, like when all the younglings are getting slaughtered, like Yoda, drops his cane and falls to his knees, like he feels all that. Like
he can feel it, but it's not like he's talking to anybody. He's not like saying, "Oh no, don't do that." And Hayden Christensen's like, "Nah, Yoda, I'm still gonna do my shit."
Yeah,
like
again, it wasn't like they were just like, "Oh, we automatically connect." It was Snook. It was Snook who was making that connection for them. He was sitting there meditating, using
enforcing
the force,
their connection.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
He says it,
that he did that.
He
okay.
says he does,
I guess then
that.
that makes a lot more sense as to why it was so clear. The way that they
Yeah.
could literally have a conversation as if they were like on a Skype phone call, just looking at each other, being able to see each other and hear other people who are in the same vicinity as them. And
no, he said he couldn't. He couldn't hear her. He said he couldn't see her. He couldn't
but
see
she
her.
could. But she could see him.
Yeah. He couldn't see around her.
Yeah.
And when he asked if she could see around him, she never answered.
I think she could.
I don't think she could.
Really?
No, I don't think she could.
Hmm.
No. Because
right.
again, that's that explanation that they were always able to do that. But, I mean, again, they were always able to do that. But, I mean, you can't find somebody.
Is there anything you didn't like about the movie?
Honestly, no. I don't think there was anything I did not like about the movie.
I thought they did their little comedic relief very well. I feel like all the Star Wars films...
Everything was very nice and, everything was touched up perfectly. It wasn't... Because there was a lot more funny parts in The Force Awakens than this one.
True.
I feel like I was a little overboard on the jokes the entire movie. Like,
wait, in this one?
in
or
The Force
Awakens?
Yeah.
I
In The
guess.
Force Awakens, I felt like it was too much comic relief.
I
In this
suppose.
one, it's the perfect amount of comic relief. Because no part was like laugh out loud, like fucking hilarious funny.
Yeah.
But you chuckled, you chuckled and laughed, and you're like, oh yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, there were moments where you chuckle, and then the cute little what are they, porgs?
Yeah, those are the porgs.
They were super cute. They had their cute little moments, but they had nothing to do with the story, which I liked. They played no significant value other than just being like, oh, look at those cute little shits.
Actually, what's even better, too, is that everyone was hating on these porgs, like, oh, these fucking porgs should die. Well, Chewbacca kills a fucking porg. He kills two of them, okay?
Yeah.
He kills two little porgs, and
he's sitting there about to eat them, and they're all staring at him like,
yeah, all
no.
the ones that are alive are staring at it. Yeah, it's good. That was probably the funniest part. Like,
that was really
that was
sweet.
one of those parts I was just like,
oh my god! And then at
fuck.
the end, when does he smuggle them on the ship or something, or did they just get on the ship with him?
They probably just get on the ship with them.
They got on there, and he was just like chilling with them and everything. He's like, "No, let me fly." And they're like, "Oh wait, I want to help too." Like they were sweet little. They were just a sweet little moment, like almost like a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
The movie got heavy at parts, but it was a little like, oh,
definitely more like a palate cleanser. Change the pace of the movie.
I thought it was really kind of, I don't want to say beautiful, but they had some really cool moments, especially in that final battle with the salt and the red.
It was very visually okay. Let's get into like the visual, like the way this movie was shot and filmed, and the special effects and everything. The CGI is all fucking good. Like they nailed the detail down to its core, and it all looks so fucking cool, man.
And like I feel like I don't think we're gonna have a problem with this in a few years when CGI is always going to be improving. Yeah. Remember when we saw episode 1, we thought that was with all the CGI. We're like, oh, this is so cool. And now we're like, oh my God, what is this crap?
It's a fucking nightmare is what it is.
Right. Yeah. But so I do feel like they use the right amount of practical effects to CGI ratio to make it look good.
Watchable.
It made super watchable, super... Like, I was not taken out of it for a second with any type of practical effect.
Yeah, the shots are really fucking cool and very beautiful and like...
Huge spoiler, when we see Yoda...
Oh
my fucking God. I was so happy with that. Because it was a perfect combination of the crappy CGI that we...
It wasn't even crappy.
But I mean, we had CGI and then we had the puppet. We had the practical effects. But it was like... a better looking puppet because of CGI.
Yeah, exactly. It was a more realistic fucking puppet. Like
puppet was super realistic, but still fit well. Like it looked
fucking good. It looked really fucking good. Like when he popped up, I was like, oh my God, that's how it should look.
Yeah, exactly. It was totally that's how it should look. That's how
to paint a visual picture for the people that haven't seen it.
Well, I hope you're not listening to this if you haven't seen it. But
the best way I can describe it is that like when you see the old ones, the trilogy and the holograms pop up, you can tell that like You can tell they're a fucking hologram. Well, he looks like the actual puppet, just with the blue glow around him. It's like, it's so perfect of how.
And it's not
how much he doesn't look there, but also looks like he's fucking standing right there. Like
it looked like
if he
the
appeared,
puppet, but with like a blue aura or a blue kind of glow. It wasn't
if he had appeared in real life, that's exactly what it would look like. Like it looks perfect to what it would be.
Yeah, if Master Yoda were to all of a sudden appear right next to you, that's exactly how it would look.
Yeah.
Just with this hint of blue.
They fucking nail it, so good. Again, visually, it's amazing. It's a phenomenal, very well shot movie.
What else did I read?
As far as I want to get into this, as far as the story goes and the writing of it, this is not a fucking like, oh, this is gonna win Best Picture or it's gonna be most dramatic role or Best Supporting Actor or anything like that. Like. No, I feel like this movie, writing-wise, was to fucking kill old Star Wars. Like, they literally said it. Like, they say it like 5 times, the old has to die. Forget the past. Like, that's literally what
that's like the theme of the movie is forget the past.
Get
the
over
past
it,
needs
people.
to die.
Yeah, like, dude, we got new Star Wars movies. We got new Star Wars characters. And you know what? These fucking people are badass, dude. Like,
oh, fuck yeah. I get so emotional when I see Rey up there kicking ass.
For us too, for us as fans also of the storyline, like I feel like we should be really appreciative for this part because when we got into A New Hope and everything, like those characters had already existed. There was a storyline that was already written that when they made the prequels. They had something to follow. Like this is brand fucking new, people. Like you have a whole galaxy of new characters that you're seeing being created, new characters that you're watching become the people who they are. Like it's a privilege. I feel like it's a privilege right now to see these characters become who they are because you know what? When we're our parents' age, our kids are gonna be like, dude, look at fucking Finn, like all. Like we used to talk about Han Solo and shit, like oh, he's the old guy,
Oh, I never thought Han Solo was the old guy. I thought he was. Well, I mean, now he's an old guy coming.
Sure, we were gonna get over there and go Death Star.
Oh, back in the day, Harrison Ford, he was freaking handsome as fuck.
We're not talking about back in the day, though. We're talking about right now. Right now, he's fucking dead.
Oh, well, yeah,
Han
right
Solo
now he's dead.
He died.
But I'm saying right now, going back and watching the original trilogy, I will still say.
You know what I also noticed too, that this movie, the whole like the main storyline of it takes place in 16 hours.
Oh yeah, huh?
But then fuck with this real quick. So if their whole scene right there is 16 hours, what the fuck is Rey doing? What planet is she on? Because she sleeps for days. They show day and night of her training and everything. But yet, all the rest of the events that happen on the ship and everything was in a span of 16 hours. Did you even notice that?
I didn't think of that. Huh.
Yeah, it's like 3 days. Like she's there for 3 or 4 days. Because when she shows up and hands him the lightsaber, he's like, no.
I wonder.
And she stays there for 2 days, and then finally he's like, all right, I'll train you. You get 3 lessons.
I wonder if anybody else noticed that and are going to blame it on a continuity glitch, or is she on a planet where time moves
well, obviously, I mean,
slower.
If you think about it, all planets are different sizes and have there's different systems. So yeah, maybe some days are shorter than
even. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah, maybe the days are short.
You know how
there.
they said like Yoda's 800 something years old. What if that's just because on the planet he's on, or the planet he's from, that's just how time moves. Like, what if he's actually like 43?
Oh my god.
But yeah, because I thought about that. I was like, wait, at the beginning of the movie, he said we got 16 hours. We got 16 hours of fuel left. Or did he say 36 hours of fuel left?
I think he said 36.
16?
I don't think he said 16.
Either way, that's only a day and a half. And
Yeah.
she was there for 4 days.
Yeah.
No, yeah, see, that's why I'm sure it was 16 hours.
Then, I don't know. Then,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could attribute it to just the planet that she was on.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that
I didn't. I
moved.
thought about
never,
that. Did you
never
even
thought
notice
about
that?
that.
Yeah.
I did not notice.
I noticed that. I thought about that. I was like, wait, didn't he say there was like 16? Wasn't Ray on that fucking planet for like days?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Slightly off topic. You know what? Some little thing I appreciated at the end, the subtle thing that I noticed, when the kids are telling the story of Luke Skywalker and what
Luke
happened,
Skywalker.
and then the guy comes rushing in, like telling him get back to work, and the kid comes outside and he goes to grab the broom. It's so subtly.
yeah,
He doesn't.
Did
Did never
anybody
touch,
notice that?
He never touched the broom.
Yep.
It just right in his hand,
Mm-hmm.
and then
he
he's
force stick that shit.
He force sticked,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's just standing there with the little ring with the
rebellion
rebellion on it,
Mhm.
and he's just standing there looking up at the sky. Like
okay, like again, like you.
that is such a symbol of like
This
new.
like this movie, like yes, this movie was like the fucking everything has to die, but it was also everything needs to get reborn. Like the Jedi are coming
She even
back.
talks about that. Okay, when Rey is sitting there on the rock and she's describing the Force, and because she doesn't really know what the Force is, and she's describing it to Luke what she feels. She even said, "I feel death and in that bringing new life and the connection between that," which is totally a metaphor for the movie, because throughout the movie they're saying the Jedi need to die, the rebellion, it all needs to die, but at the same time it needs to die so that new can.
And then the way
So
Kylo,
it's the last of the old
and then the way
Jedi.
Kylo takes out Snook too. Like he takes out Snook, and like there you go. It's a brand new generation of Sith.
Yeah,
It's a whole new, it's a whole brand new thing of Sith Lords and everything. Like it's fucking, it's good.
uh-huh.
It
I
gets
wasn't
me
surprised.
excited again. I haven't been excited for the next Star Wars movie since they announced Rogue One, and it's like, okay, but we know that story.
Yeah, we know how it's gonna end.
We don't know how this is gonna end now. You don't get it, people. We don't know how these episodes are gonna end anymore.
Yeah, we have no idea. We were kind of
And
left with.
and it's not another trilogy. This is the beginning of a series, a whole fucking anthology of Star Wars movies. They're not just gonna go three at a time. Like I think from now on, we're probably gonna get a Star Wars movie like.
Every other year?
We'll probably get 9 within the next 10 years.
Really? So that's almost once a year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, including side stories like Rogue One. We got the new Han Solo coming out, but like,
That's gonna be awesome.
but yeah, for like the span of the next 10 years, I feel like we're gonna get so much more Star Wars movies, and then they're all like, they're gonna be old stories. They'll be origin because we need to pay tribute to that, but also these new episodes that are coming out now, like these are opening up whole new horizons for everyone's imagination. Like, it gets me excited not knowing what's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you think about it with our parents, when they saw Star Wars and everything, when they saw Star Wars for the first time, they didn't know what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find out Darth Vader's Luke's father.
And it's like,
what
what?
the fuck? Yeah, like...
Yeah. And I feel like we are...
I was kind of hoping for one of those moments with Rey and her parents.
I was waiting for it through the entire movie.
Yeah.
And then we only come to find out that...
It was like
she's
rolled
nobody.
over. Yeah, he's just like, you're from nothing. Your parents were alcoholics. I traded you for some booze.
Yeah. You're nothing and you came from nobody, but it's... I think it is so special in a way, the fact that she wasn't from the Skywalker bloodline, yet she's still incredibly powerful. That kind of goes to show that we don't really need the Skywalkers to have Star Wars. We don't to have powerful Jedi,
Well, I mean,
there are other powerful Jedi. Yes, as far as in this time that all we've known that the Skywalker bloodline is the most powerful of the Jedi.
See that I think that's what pisses people off so much though, because George Lucas wrote this as that yes, the Skywalkers are the people. There was only one bloodline that was going to bring balance to the Force.
Mm-hmm.
And now, now that's completely obliterated. That does not exist anymore.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I do feel like Kylo Ren will play a part in bringing balance. I feel like watching Rey and watching Kylo Ren in the way that they interacted in this film.
No, I don't think so.
I just sensed a lot of.
But you know what? You want to know if Kylo ever does, it'll be too late. He'll have a Padawan. He'll have his own apprentice that will try to try to kill him, or get pissed off at him because he turned over, and then start a whole new order of Sith again. Like no. Again, if he ever does, it'll be too late. There's never ever not going to be.
I'm not saying he's going to do it alone. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying that he's going to come back, but I feel like something is going to happen between the both of them that is going to bring balance and order. Something. No.
He wants the Jedi dead. Yes, that's what he wants. He wants the Jedi gone. That's what he wants. He has a personal vendetta with the Jedi because of what Luke did to him.
Mm-hmm.
He has he wants the Jedi gone for sure.
Okay. But who says that it's I'm telling you, I feel like 'cause he is so Rey is so pure of heart when it comes to the ways of the Jedi, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Kylo Ren, who is so the opposite of that. We have two distinct opposites to bring balance to everything. I guess that's the point that I'm trying to make. They're so on opposite ends of the
do you want to know what that balance is? That there's always going to be conflict.
Okay.
That's why Star Wars is never going to end. Star Wars will never ever end. I'm telling you, it's never going to end. What you're looking for an eventuality where one finally teeters. We hope that it's the other way.
That one is going to teeter and one's not going to teeter.
Well, you just think Kylo Ren's going to be like, yeah, we're always going to hate each other. Let's just not fight.
No, I don't know. I just got this. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to start writing Star Wars.
I think what you want to happen. If that ever does happen, it's going to be too late, and there's going to be another Kylo Ren or Darth Vader or Palpatine or whoever.
I mean, yeah, sure. There's always going to be another Sith, and there's always going to be more Jedi, and that's where Star Wars comes. But I feel like that in itself is the balance, in a way.
So Kylo's going to play the same role that he's playing right now?
I don't know.
You're going in circles, right? Like, I don't know where you're trying to go with this.
All right. Okay.
What?
I don't know.
I'm asking you, but.
I mean, I was trying to explain it because just the thought that I had when Kylo took out Snook, and there is that moment where she looks at him and he looks at her, and it's like. That was the supreme leader, the supreme ruler, and he took him out.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up having to fight off everybody. And just that moment of them fighting side by side was so... Maybe it was just the way it was shot or just whatever, but it was so like...
I think you're a victim of the camera work and everything.
Maybe. It was so powerful to me seeing them both fighting back to back.
Yes, definitely.
Like that.
It makes you
showing two powerful people from opposite ends. We have a Jedi and we have a Sith, and they're so incredibly powerful and doing kick-ass things side by side. Like it was really cool, and I just have this feeling that it's something between the two of them that's going to bring some type of balance or symmetry. And I'm not saying that either of them are going to budge either way. But because they are both so powerful and so opposite, I feel like that I get this idea of balance between the two of them.
I just don't know what you mean by balance. Like, the balance is that they fight, though.
Right. that they're two super powerful entities from opposite ends.
So you think they should fuck?
No,
because that'll really bring balance to everything. I'll be honest. I mean, come on.
No, I don't want to think about them having a baby. I was just kind of all this time I was thinking maybe they were cousins or something, and now I can't unpicture them as cousins.
Well, now you know that they're not related at all. So it's open game, man.
No. All right.
I think that's going to be the start. What, do you need another beer?
No.
What were we going to ask?
Oh, I was going to say, is it time for a break? Or...
Oh, yeah, I guess. All right, let's take a break.
All right, shit.
Well, you're the one who wants a fucking break.
I'm just asking. It feels like a good time. You've already debunked my whole theory of them bringing balance to the Force. I'm like, all right.
When we come back, we'll talk about them fucking then.
No.
That'll be in the next one.
Oh, God.
We're going to take a break with a band that was showed to us again by our good friend Bia Beatrice, who was a past guest on our episode. You should go check out that episode because she's a real fucking cool chick that loves metal and will live and die in metal. And yeah. But this band that she showed us, she showed us this band called the Gitas. That is Gitas, and you can find them on Facebook and SoundCloud. They're on Spotify. They actually do have an album out right now called Beverly Kills. And you can cop that on iTunes and listen to it on Spotify, SoundCloud, and all that shit there too. They actually do have a music video that they put out for this with the title track, Beverly Kills. So we're going to check that out. Definitely check them out on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. We'll be right back, people.
We're back. That was an interesting video I just watched.
Really? You just watched it? Right now? You just watched it?
Yeah. What? Weirdo?
But yeah, that was the Gitas. That was their song, Beverly Kills. So definitely check them out. They do have that their debut album out, which is sorry, hold on, I gotta bring it back over here. Which is called Beverly Kills. So definitely check them out again. That's on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you can stream or buy music. Oh, they do also have a website. We'll actually tell you the website.
Yeah.
But we're back. We're back talking about Star Wars. We just got back from... Actually, we saw it at the El Capitan.
Super cool experience watching it there.
It was just cool to be back there, man. I haven't been to the El Capitan since 2002?
Yeah, definitely.
Or 99, actually? I don't know. When was the Toy Story 2 premiere?
2002.
Was it 2002?
I think 2000 or 2002.
Something like that. That was the last time I was there. Was for fucking 2002, and yeah, man, it's a fucking cool place. Really nice theater.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy light show that they had before all that shit, which is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
they have a big old fucking AT-AT that comes out and shoots lasers.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely cool. Quality movie watching experience, other than the fucking kid sitting behind us who would not shut the fuck up.
I know,
the
fucking
entire
piece
time.
of shit.
It was so annoying.
We should have complained and made them leave or something.
Yeah, or something, or just say like, "Hey, can you just tell him like to stop talking?"
Mm-hmm.
Because the kid would get bored. Like his like little woes, like when stuff was happening, I could deal with because that's all action. That's like that was genuine. Like but like the fact that he would get bored during the parts with like dialogue and start talking, I'd be like,
"Yeah,
shut the fuck up! I'm trying to hear what Princess Leia is saying."
Yeah, rude.
Yeah, and everybody was turning around looking at them, and the mom wasn't doing shit.
Yeah.
Mom just was like, "No."
Dude, she didn't do anything until I looked at her. I turned around and I made I stared at her until like the screen lit up and I could see the whites of her eyes. Mm-hmm. And I was looking right at her, and then she finally turned around.
Yeah. Ugh. I was getting really annoyed just because like you pay to see a movie, especially fucking Star Wars, and you want to catch every word, especially the important dialogue of important fucking characters. And yeah,
I didn't get that experience. Yeah, so Kylo and Rey are gonna fuck. That's what's gonna happen.
No.
Let's fucking spoil shit, man. Let's tell everybody what the fuck happens, dude, because it is crazy. It is crazy in here.
So it starts off, and there's this battle happening.
I didn't mean we're gonna explain.
We're
gonna tell you every scene.
We're gonna go through a scene by scene.
I will be playing Poe, Finn, and all the male character roles. No, it was actually. I mean, it was good character development, man. Like it really. These new characters that they have, yeah. So Finn, fucking Poe, Rey. Now we got Rose and Rose in there. Like all these new characters that are, that you're.
I enjoyed Rose. I kind of liked the whole little adventure that her and Poe went on. They went to the planet,
Finn.
which is I said Poe. Her and Finn went on basically a planet that was like Las Vegas in the galaxy, super rich, fancy, high class. And her saying, like, well, this place is awful.
Oh, yeah. That was what made me happy. She was like, oh, this place is full of the worst kind of people in the world. Mm-hmm. Because, okay, actually, before she even explains that, because he asked, like, is this the kind of, like, what city is this? And then she explains it, it's filled with a bunch of, and she kind of stops. And he's like, villainy and cruelty. Like, she's like, yeah, that. But this is also filled with the worst people kind in the world. So not only does it have, like, villainy
she's like the worst kind of people. And then all of a sudden it alludes to, like, fancy.
It's all fancy, nice cars. Everybody's wearing suits. And, you can tell these are all the fucking rich assholes. And like, man.
It's totally relevant, no matter what galaxy.
Yeah.
Including our own. It's
exactly, yeah. So it was kind of nice to just see that and be like, oh yeah, those fucking people are the worst.
Yeah, and fucking it kind of
rich assholes.
And we have Finn, who's just hear like, why do you hate it so much? It's great here. Like looking at how beautiful everything. And she's like, no, look closer. And he starts kind of looking closer to the way like the animals.
Yeah, the kids, the animals,
they raised
workers.
I don't know what the animal was. It was like some kind of horse type deal. Like it looked like horse racing or something. Yeah. And then the kids who were forced to take care of them. And I guess that's where she came from too. So that's why she acknowledges fully how beautiful the place is, but how awful it can be, and how all of that, the beauty and luxury comes at a cost. And the cost is, the decency of other people's lives, and the fact that all of these people got rich because they're selling weapons to the bad guys.
Well, they're selling
and
weapons
to the good guys.
Which is even worse. Like they're just really profiting off of war the entire time.
Yeah,
that's it.
That is so freaking true. That we as a society,
it's a very good it's a very good
war.
Nod to what today's society is that like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and everybody that suffers in war fucking dies.
Yeah, how there's just always going to be suffering if you're not wealthy and rich, and it was a really cool moment, and I wasn't expecting to be taken to that kind of world in this movie. It kind of totally threw you for a loop. Yeah, totally threw me for a loop. And she explains it so beautifully when after she talks to one of the kids and gives her rebellion ring, and the kids help the animals run free, and they're riding up, and afterwards, and they think that they didn't quite make it, and they think it's the end of the line for them. And she's like, well, at least, at least they went out with a bang. At least they fucked some shit up.
Well, actually, what the real line, because she says, I wish I could drive my fist through this town, this city.
I wanna put my fist through this whole lousy, beautiful town.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so well put. But that's why she said it, because they were talking about how, like...
But at the end, Finn looks at her, and he tells her that. He's like, well, at least we're able to put your fist through the city.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really, really beautifully put. I want to put my fist through this whole lousy, beautiful town. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's so relevant. Actually, funny, before we saw the movie, I saw that on Twitter, and I thought, wow, like, that's kind of like that is a cool line. Just in general, I thought maybe it was a song lyric from somewhere, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting down watching the movie, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like it's from Star Wars, like
it's a Star Wars line, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, like,
and then let's talk about Finn though, because again, people, like, we're talking about a movie that, yes, they're killing it, they're killing old Star Wars, but dude, fucking Finn is Han Solo, man. Like, he is swindling, like, he's trying to talk his way out of all of his situations, and he's trying to swindle his way. Like, try to be that nice, smooth talking, good, like, oh, it's all right, we got it, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, he totally has the most badass kind of Han Solo moment.
The first 10 minutes where he's, the first 10 minutes, well, actually, after the first 5 minutes when he's in that stupid bubble, but the 10 minutes after that when he's trying to get into the pod and everything, like, the way he was standing in the hallway and, like, the way he kind of, like, delivered himself, like,
he's like, I'm not running away. I'm just doing routine
Mm-hmm.
checks, like, total, like, smooth talker.
Dude, I guarantee you there is a scene in the original trilogy where Han Solo is standing with his arm up on the archway, with his arm up on the archway, his hand on his hip, and his legs crossed.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, it's like uncanny. Like that was he's
totally
the
channeling
new Han Solo, dude.
Yeah, he has really badass moments too. One of my favorite moments of the movie is when he takes out what's her face, Phasm, and her part of her helmet rips off, and she's looking at him, and she's like, oh, you're nothing but scum. And he's like, yeah.
He looks at her and goes, rebel scum.
And takes her out. It's like, fuck yeah. I totally saw that coming.
She's not taken out, dude. She's definitely not taken. She's the Boba Fett.
Didn't he kill her? It looked like he killed her.
She fell in some fire, but she's got armor on. Rose shot her with the blaster and it bounced off.
Oh yeah,
she's got fucking badass armor on right now.
All right, I thought he killed her.
No, I mean, because of her exposed eye, I'm pretty sure she got burnt a little bit right there. But I don't think.
Crazy. When they're mid-fighting, he calls her Chrome Dome.
Yeah.
It was total, like... That's why I felt like this movie had really good moments of, like...
The cheekiness. And
there was some cheekiness in the midst of battle. There was still those kind of, like, cheeky moments or those... funny little one-liners.
When Chewie gets there and he's all blasting everybody, and he does his little war cry, and then the porks do it, and he's just like smacks it out of the way, like shut up,
I know,
little fucking shit.
That was so freaking cute. The pork's trying to do his little war cry thing. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah, he smacks away like.
But I mean, that's perfect for anyone. For those who hated the porgs, or if you thought they were adorable as shit, that moment I feel like was funny.
I don't think anybody didn't like the porgs.
You said earlier that people were like, "Yeah."
Well, again, that was before the movie. Before the movie premiered, everybody was like, "What are these stupid little furry things?"
He's like the new Ewoks or whatever.
Exactly. The new Ewoks. Like, they didn't do shit, dude.
They didn't do shit. They were just there.
They were there to make you smile every now and then.
Yeah,
like,
normally in a movie, people would have an issue with...
And then Chewbacca kills one. He kills two.
You don't see him kill it.
He kills two.
You see him about to eat it.
And he's about to eat it. That's even better.
You see it. It's already fried and cooked, like fried chicken.
Yeah,
He's just about to bite into it, and they're looking at him like, "Please don't do that." And he's like, "Fuck it, fine. I guess." They all guilted him. Like, it was cute, but I was saying, normally people would have an issue with characters that don't serve a purpose to the story. But it was so perfectly done. It was just the right amount of them. They were hardly in the movie at all. But just their little moments they were cute, and it was a really nice comedic relief. Like I said earlier, a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
And then that whole moment was so cute when they try to do the war cry and he slaps it away like, "All right, shut the fuck up." Like, it was well done. I wouldn't mind seeing more porgs later, but I don't that might be overkill. I just thought they're really cute.
Yeah, I doubt they're gonna still be have anything to do in the story.
Just cute.
Like,
babe, I want a little porg, little plushie. I just want to hug it because it looks so freaking cute. It just looks so cuddly. I just wanted to snuggle little shits.
What do you think is gonna happen in the next one?
Fuck, I have no idea, and that is so fucking awesome and beautiful. I can definitely sense from the beginning when everyone was complaining about Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, they're like, "Oh, he looks like a little bitch." Well, come to find out that he is kind of a scared little kid.
Yeah, he is.
You know, he is
a little bitch.
he is a little bitch, and so it's perfect casting because he does pull off that fearsome kind of attitude, but you can totally see through that still and see that there's a fear. So I feel like he was well cast, and he did a very good job in this movie. So I'm looking forward to seeing his arc later.
There's significantly less bitch fits. Like, he has one bitch fit in the very beginning, and it's to destroy the helmet. And which, again, people were like, "Oh, why does he got to wear a mask? Like, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to be like Darth Vader and shit, blah, blah, blah." Well, you know what? No, there is no fucking mask anymore. Again, this is a brand new fucking Star Wars.
Yeah,
man.
the fact that he just totally obliterates his own mask
stands out as like it is fucking changing, man. Like, fuck J.J. Abrams. Like, dude, he did a great job again recreating exactly what already existed. This is a whole new fucking Star Wars, man. It's a whole new genre now. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's homages to
yeah, there still definitely are things that make it very Star Wars that they have to have there, or else it isn't Star Wars. But the way that they're kind of flipping the script, like, all right, we've got a fearsome person, and he had a mask, and he fucking destroyed that mask
because you don't need the fucking mask.
Because he doesn't need it. Because, we already had...
Who said he needed a goddamn mask?
We already had
That's what they said
Darth
in the writing
Vader.
room. Yeah, they said, who said Kylo Ren needed a mask? And someone was like,
You're right.
Darth Vader had a mask. Well, Darth Vader's dead, motherfucker. Let's leave him dead and not give Kylo Ren a mask.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was...
Yeah, and
I was pleasant, but it still felt like felt like Star Wars. It still felt like we had that fearsome person. It was just a different kind of person who we feared.
I do see a big problem though with the future of Star Wars now that Carrie Fisher has died.
Oh, I know.
Especially with the writing of it, because again, Han Solo dies. Luke dies in this one. We didn't even get to that one.
Yeah, he did die, but I don't think he's gonna be gone.
He's not gonna. Yeah, he's not gonna be gone. He becomes one with the Force, as Yoda did. And
it was so beautiful how the way it was done. He just lied down
Kenobi
after that and just disappeared off.
And then just like Ben Kenobi and Yoda, Luke does the same thing where he becomes one and his body dissipates, and he's naked in the afterlife.
I'm sure they give him some ghost robes.
Yeah, that's where he went to go get. He went to go get his ghost robes. Yeah, I feel like that this next one that's supposed to happen, the episode 9, I feel like that was supposed to be Leia's turn, like because she's the first one you meet in Star Wars. She's the first character you meet. Leia's the first one, so it's only right that when you're killing off the older generation, she would be the last one. Unfortunately, now that's not the case.
Yeah,
that's not the case anymore. I do now feel like it is going to be Chewie. I feel actually what would have been more poetic. I feel like what would have been more poetic. Yeah, exactly. Is if it would have been both, because Chewie has always had this, like unspoken connection with Leia. Like, you're my best friend's girl. He told if he was never around, I promised him that I would protect you.
Yeah.
When he gets frozen in carbonite, he tells Chewie to take care of her. Like, you need to watch the princess, take care of the princess.
Yeah,
and then he stops fighting and calms down.
He loves her. So
it really does. I think that's how it would have been, and my prediction would have been that their last chance of either getting rid of the First Order or escaping the First Order again. It was gonna be Chewie and Leia riding the Falcon straight into whatever it is, because I think the Falcon's probably gonna go down pretty soon.
I think the next movie is gonna be Chewie and the Falcon going down. Honestly, in this movie, I thought like twice that they were gonna kill off Leia in this movie. The first time being when the room gets blasted and she's out in space sitting there. I'm like, okay, that's it, she's done. But then I don't know how the fuck she comes back.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Skywalker bloodline.
It's crazy. Never, ever had any, but all of a sudden, in that moment of near death, somehow comes back. I'm like, whoa, okay, so she's still around. And then the second time I thought it was going to happen was when they abandoned the main ship, and she's talking to the other chick, and she's like, well, someone needs to stay behind. I thought she was going to say, like, okay, like, I'll stay behind, and then she was going to be in that chair and use the ship to blow up the other ship, and that was going to be how she went down. Because that would have been a very noble death. Poetic. And she is a captain who went down with her ship. Yeah. Like, that would have been and she went going down for the rebellion. Like, I really thought that's what was going to happen, so I was surprised that it didn't. So she ended up being alive through the rest of this movie. So what I'm thinking is they probably have some footage on reserve that they didn't use strategically in this film that they're going to plug for the next film to kind of...
Yeah, maybe.
They can't just be like, all right, she's gone, bye. Like, they got to do something.
No, they'll show her body. They'll show her dead. I feel like, but that's how it's gonna start. It's gonna start with her being dead, with Leia dying.
Within maybe like the first 10 minutes or so.
Of her being dead already.
No, see, I feel like that's so disrespectful as a viewer.
But how are they gonna do that? Like,
I'm telling you.
What you're asking for is CGI.
I'm not saying CGI. I'm saying I'm hoping that they have some footage on reserve, some scenes that they decided to not use in this new film, and put it on hold for the next film and do something to make a death out of it. I don't know. It could be that she's getting on a ship or she has a conversation with somebody and she's like, okay, I'm going to go here and do this. And then something happens to the ship or just something. But I don't want to start the film and be like, she's dead. Because I feel like even if I didn't know that Carrie Fisher had died and all of a sudden we just at the beginning of the film find out, what the fuck, she died? She was the first character that was introduced to us in the original trilogy and you're just going to tell me that she died? No, I want an explanation. I want her, if she's going to go out, I want it to be with a noble cause. So
it'll probably be like how you said, but I don't think they're gonna have any footage of her. I don't think
they're gonna have their work cut. Then some kind of body double or something. I just want an answer. Like, even if Carrie Fisher didn't die and they were gonna write her off on some way, I would want it to be meaningful. Just like we had Luke's death be very meaningful and profound. It's like, I can live with that. I'm okay with that. He's now one with the Force. He helped them and he did this. I'm fine with Han's death because he was taken out by his son. I have a feeling that Chewie will be taken out, maybe doing something with the Millennium Falcon and just doing something noble and important and going down with that ship. And that's his baby. That is. So I don't want them to just start the film being like, oh yeah, Leia's dead. Sorry about it. Can't have that. I would be furious. So they have their work cut out for them. I don't know what they have, what footage they have left, or what they can do, but I have high expectations. They better figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously they have to write her off somehow, but
God, I got really intense there. I got really because I don't want her to just go like that. I mean, she's already gone, and I've obviously we have to accept that, but it's like they need to do something with their character because it would just not be fair. It would not do Princess Leia Organa, General Organa. It would not do her justice if they just said she was dead.
Her off like that.
Yeah, they have to do something regardless of what it is. It just needs to be something of importance.
You know, they'll like you said, they'll probably will use old footage. I don't really see it working out though with the old footage. I mean,
footage from this film?
Yeah.
We don't know what they have. They could have taken out a whole scene. They could.
Dude, that fucking scene when R2-D2 shows Luke the old footage.
I got chills. I got a little teary-eyed there when he shows her originally.
Yeah, the original,
she's like,
the old one.
Help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. It's like, oh my freaking God. And he looks at her.
Like, that's low.
Yeah.
That's low. That's a low shot.
They totally... a lot of it in this movie, like, you'd expect deep and profound, but they kind of threw, like... a kind of like a funny kind of humor into it. I appreciated that. Perfect example when picks up right when Rey sees Luke. Right when Rey sees Luke and
she hands him the lightsaber.
She hands him the lightsaber and then he just chucks it behind his back.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Throws it.
I was like, what? I feel like everybody watching it was like, what? Like, this was like such a huge, profound moment at the end of The Force Awakens, and he just fucking chucks it. But like, I mean, it totally set up the tone for the movie. Like, throw out what you expect from Star Wars. They're doing something different, and it's still, of course, going to be true to Star Wars, but. Yeah. It's not going to be...
Yeah, everything's dead, people. Everything is dead. The only remnants of the old Star Wars are Leia. That's alive at this point. Leia, Chewie, and the Falcon.
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber isn't even existent anymore.
That's another thing that I thought was crazy. Like, when they had that moment when they were fighting over the lightsaber, and neither one of them could take it from the other, so it just freaking obliterated. That takes two very, very powerful people. And there was just something there. I don't know, just something there about the symmetry between someone being so on, like, both people being on opposite ends of the Force, where I would think that they're going to play more into that.
I wonder why Luke had the lightsaber when he manifested himself in the field.
Because he could. I don't know.
I wonder why. Because his lightsaber is green, and that was not his lightsaber that he was holding. Period.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was Anakin's. All right, well, we're done spoiling this fucking movie. We pretty much got through everything. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, God, we talked about Star Wars for a full hour.
Yeah, I told you. You act like that was it was a hard task to do. Shit. Remember to check us out on SoundCloud tomorrow morning or tomorrow eventually when I post the episode. We do our audio podcast through SoundCloud and all that good shit. So we're going to take it on another song by the band The Gitas. This is another one off their debut album, Beverly Kills. That was the video you saw a little earlier. Definitely check them out on Facebook and everything. And if you go to Facebook, they do have their website link there. The website is www.thegitas.com.
We'll share the links, and we'll share that video on our page. So you should check it out. It was interesting.
Yes.
What? Jeez.
But anyway, go ahead and check them out, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Yes.
I actually didn't even say what this fucking song is called. This is their other. This is another song that they have off of the Beverly Kills. This is "Check Out the Violence." Check out the violence. This is the song called. All right, now we'll be back.